Hi, y'all. Hello again, Kim. Oh, here comes other Kim. Hi, Anna. There's Kim. Hi. Oh, look, quite a few people joining today. Yeehaw. Zoom keeps putting up so many like notifications. I can't see anything. Okay, we'll let everybody get joined up here. Hey, Amanda. Bree is connecting to audio, so we will let her get situated. And let me get on my right screen to share here. Okay. Okay. Well, Bree is having trouble getting connected on here. All right. Bree, are you here? Or maybe I guess you're here, but your audio is not on, but you can hopefully hear us. Okay. Okay, well, happy December. I'm wearing my son of a nutcracker sweater because I have a Christmas party later today. And I have a crazy lot of stuff going on this afternoon. So I'm just dressed for the day in my party wear, in my party attire. All right, let's have a quick prayer to get us started. We just prayed in the CHC meeting, but let's pray again and I will lead us and get us going. Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing body that you have given us, Lord. It is so complex, so beautifully complex, Lord, that we know it could only come from you. We thank you for these past few months when we've been really kind of diving deep into what is in the body, Lord. And trying to keep what is good and eject what is bad. Isn't that just a good motto for all the things that we are trying to do with our health and in life? We thank you for the blessings that you have given us, Lord. We invite you into this time, into this space as we talk about our bodies and everything that we're doing, Lord. And we're just so grateful for everything you have given us. It is in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Okay, friends. For friends who we have been working together and they're in step 4, let's talk about it. Well, first of all, everybody tell me where you are. Where is everybody? Are we fully in step 4 yet? Are we wrapping up step 3?
I'm
What's going on?
wrapping
Okay.
up. I'm wrapping up step three. I think I've got today and tomorrow. So by Thursday, I'll be
Okay.
stepping into phase four.
I'm starting
Okay.
for tomorrow.
Okay. Phase 4. Okay, Bree. All right. All right.
I just started for today.
Okay. Well, good. We're real close on being on the same page here. That's awesome. How how was it with how's it been with para 3 for everybody?
I was
Okay.
fine with it. The only thing is, and that was, I was talking with Crystal, is that I've had that pain in my center of my back almost through this whole time. So I'm just wondering, and I do all my lymph node stuff. I put my creams on, and so, trying to drink a lot of water. So I don't know if it's pulling something through my back or not.
And it's new to this month.
Yeah, it kind of like started, I think maybe. Yeah, I think it kind of started this month or maybe the month before. Actually, it was actually all of November. It was actually through three.
All through step 3.
So I don't know. I think I talked to you about it once before. Maybe it even started in two. So that's just kind of weird. It's just like,
Yeah, and it really could be that. I remember, I feel like that happened to Dr. Todd, I think. I know in his joints he had that issue when he pushed it. Now, if I recall, in our last meeting, CellCore meeting, we had some people that were going to experiment. Did anybody experiment with like high dosing and pushing things or no?
I did move my para one to three of them. So twice a day.
3 twice a day?
Yeah, three twice a day.
Okay.
And And so, but I stopped at first the CT minerals because it was just like I said, I deal with the diarrhea now as I was trying to bulk it up and it was a little too much. So I kept, I ended up having, I felt like it was probably creating a little more backup. It was causing a lot of pain in my abdomen area. So
The para one, upping the para one.
yeah, upping the para one without taking the CT minerals. So I decided to
Okay.
continue the CT minerals, and just, and I only just for one day or two went back to two, but then went back up to three, but using the CT minerals and stuff, and that's been fine. I'm still not solid during the day, but I am waking up in the morning where it's more solid.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could even take that up a little bit higher.
So do you take, that was one of my questions is, do you take the Paralon, can you take the Paralon one along with three? Because I thought that's what he said in the video. Can you, or something I read that you could take Para one and three together. Is that true?
Take it at the same time.
Yeah.
They've kind of switched around on that. I would stick to what it says on the card. Let's open up oh, well, actually, I have three.
So it's just two of the Para three in the morning and at night before it says upon waking going to bed, but I've been doing, I take that a little bit later since I do I do the, what am I taking? Hydrogen pill in the morning, and then I
Oh,
do my amino acid uh, thing about an hour
how
later.
much to balance?
Yep, all of it to balance.
All of it's a balance. Um, yeah, I would play with an extra pair of four, Kim, and see if that helps bulk things up a little bit more.
Okay,
Really,
I'll
that's
do
a step
that.
in the right direction. That's good. Good stuff. Okay, so and
Well, updates from me. Um, uh, my sleep and my BMs are not fun.
Mhm.
I've just the sleeping as I just again I think is really just the amount of detoxing, the press. I'm getting extremely overheated at night again, but it's only specifically during like the 2 a.m., 4 a.m. It's not sweating. It's coming from my back.
The
Um,
sweat.
it's emanating off my back. Like,
Okay, like the heat.
yes, yes. So sleeping has been really challenging. Because I literally have to go to bed pretty much naked in my cold cotton sheets. I shiver until I get warm, and then I start to settle and I pass out. And then usually somewhere between 2 and 4, I wake up because I have to literally like strip it's already a light blanket on the cotton sheet. So I have to like take that blanket off so the cotton can breathe. So sleeping has been really annoying. But I'm this far in, so I'm like, I got 1 month and I'm gonna see how well I do with it.
Ah,
And with stopping para one, I'm curious to see if that helps my bowel movements. I'm taking something to help with my bowels, but I'm still like every other day.
mm,
So I'm just trying to, with between the magnesium cream and the citrate, I'm just trying to pay attention to it, but I've
sure.
just accepted it that this is where it is. I'm still seeing like the parasite eggs and like I still think there's stuff in there. Again, I'm not going digging around. I just haven't been able to do it. So if I don't see it, like that's fine. But a positive that I've noticed, my nails are growing faster and they're starting to get stronger. So for
Oh, good.
me, that tells me that I'm absorbing my nutrients better. So those little boogers aren't taking all my nutrients. They're, because I'm expelling them.
Yeah. Yeah, that and just again with the carbons, the humics and the fulvics, it just opens the door and makes everything more absorbable, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good sign. And I mean, that's a, pretty outward sign. So if we know that, we know things are working, there's some changes happening on the inside. So that's great.
Yeah. So, and I haven't continued the para three. So, I mean, I did it the 3 weeks and then I've just stopped. So,
Okay.
I was going to ask, for phase 4, if you think adding the para 3 would be helpful or not, based on what I'm feeling.
I, I mean, I think it's not a bad thing to continue with. I think especially at this time of the year, because I've told y'all like para three, if anybody gets sick, starts feeling sick in my house, like that's what I'm like
Okay.
pulling para three, so um and giving that. And so I think yeah, I think you could continue with it. Now, this is a personal choice. As part of the protocol, it's only a part of step 3, and then you have extra, which, you can use at any time, but you can also continue with it as long as you've given yourself a 1 week break. So
Yeah, I
I'm
have.
kind of the mind, like if you're doing all right, let's keep pushing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it's been a week break for sure. So I'll reintroduce the para 3.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, how much para 3 when someone starts feeling sick for both cold symptoms and stomach flu symptoms? Yeah, anything. I just do it. Okay, there you are. You moved. I do it for anything, and I just do a dropper full, which is probably a little jarring it could be a little jarring for some people's systems, but I just do that to my family. I just if you've got a sensitive person in your house, or if a kid that's like a younger kid, I would do a little bit more of sensitive dosing, like um half a drop or even 2 or 3 drops. It just kind of depends on how sensitive somebody is, but we're not very sensitive at my house, so I just do a dropper.
Do you do
How
that until they start feeling better or just once?
I will do it for several days. I'll do it for several days. And Carrie, how often for a period 3? Do you mean for like if somebody's feeling sick? I'll do it a couple times a day for 2 or 3 days, and usually, I mean, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had anything terribly extensive. We've had to go beyond that. But I mean, you could keep up with that longer if you wanted to. But if you do get up to 3 weeks, then you want to take a week off, right? It is handy to have around. And I don't know, I guess maybe I talked about this in the CHC, how, my husband recently had dental, well, he just got his teeth cleaned and he hadn't been to the dentist in 5 years. What in the world? He went to the dentist, got his teeth cleaned, everything was fine. He started feeling awful a couple days later, and we don't know what happened, but I think they loosened something up, when they were in there, and he's so sick for a week. And so I had him do some just kind of mouth rinses with the para three, just with water, just kind of swished around his mouth to do that. And when he would do it, it would feel better, but um, that's another way we recently used it. So, okay. So Kim's wrapping up. Kim and Kim wrapped up 3, going to 4. Anybody else have any feedback on step 3 and how that's been? Everybody's good.
Yeah, I just started 4 this week. Yesterday, I guess. What was the phase that I had such trouble in? Was that 2? I can't remember.
I kind of think it was
Anyway, it was, and I never got back up to 2 para 2s, 2 para, whatever the paras were at that time. I just stuck with 1 because I just couldn't deal with that. But anyway, I finished off all of that in phase 3. So started phase 4 yesterday. And I mean, my only question is like, what are you supposed to feel anything different for 4, or is it just still doing its thing?
it's still doing its thing. Again, you just kind of never know how each step is going to feel or what it's going to shake up, shake loose. So yeah, it's again with each of the paras, they're all targeting kind of everything generally, but they also have a little bit more specifics. And so we're just covering a lot of basis. Para 4 is especially good for Candida.
Mm.
But it is, it is targeting a spectrum of things, but this is kind of more of their Candida E1. Um, Okay. And I said I finished a week ago wondering what recommendation for what is next. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that. And it is good timing because I don't know if any of y'all took advantage of the cash rewards that CellCore is doing. It was supposed to stop yesterday, but they extended it today. I didn't know they were going to do that, which I'm glad because I've had a lot of people scrambling and getting stuff today, but it is a good time to stock up on anything so we can kind of talk about some options, kind of where you go from here. Let me share my screen. Okay, so just here we are for step 4. Everybody feels pretty clear on where we're going with that, right? No questions about how to use it. Again, para 4, since it's kind of being taken away from everything, it's going to kind of take the place of your para 1, right? So, and just in the same fashion you were taking your para 1 from everything, that ought to work. Okay. Um, let's
Do you
see.
take the other three like a half an hour before you eat again, like on an empty stomach? Is that the best to do the binder, the ATP and the lymph?
Again, you can take it with food or without food, your other ones. I always take it a little bit ahead of time. I just like if you could tolerate it, I like to have my supplements kind of away from my food just so they absorb a little bit with a little bit more concentration. Do you know what I mean? Not getting kind of wrapped up in the food and being a little diluted. Now, it doesn't mean they're not working. If you're taking it with your food, please don't think that. I just feel like giving them a little bit of a head start if you can tolerate it. That's kind of my strategy. Some people that feels terrible and they don't want to do that. So, um, okay. If you look here in step 4, there is a little section that says, what comes after step 4? This, of course, is totally optional. All of this is optional. You don't have to do anything after step 4 if you don't want to. They have a few kits. They have an Optimize A kit, Optimize B kit, and a maintenance kit. And so we can look at those real quick. That might be options if you want to keep going with some stuff. The This is the Optimize A. And I would say Optimize A is a little bit more geared toward kind of energy, metabolic health and energy. We've got the metabolic activator, which has some iodine and some of those cofactors like selenium and such. And I like it. We were just talking about this in the club. Somebody was asking about iodine supplementation. And I like metabolic activator because it's just very, very subtle. It's very low, very low dose iodine, which I think is good to there's a lot of controversy around iodine. I think we need iodine, and I think a lot of people don't get enough of it. But I like this because this is slow and you can always build it and you can always add more. When I
That a
can,
good one to take with Hashimoto's?
yeah. Yeah, because that's, controversial doing iodine with Hashimoto's, but with this, I feel pretty confident in this. It's so low dose. It's
Are
so,
there CellCore products that you feel are good support for Hashimoto's?
I think all of it is good. I think the maintenance kit would be a good one, which we'll talk about. But I think metabolic activator in addition, is a good one. Just that ongoing iodine support is good. And I give this to my daughter if I can remember to like kind of sneak it in her morning drink. I do this because when I interviewed Dr. Brownstein, he was talking about how he was an iodine specialist. He was talking about how this time, like a teenage girl, when they're growing and the puberty is a really important time for iodine. So I am been trying to give this to her as regularly as I can.
Off topic, but related with that from personal experience. Uh, Way too late for me, but hopefully for other females, with regard to the iodine, direct correlation with menstrual issues, endometriosis, as far as deficiencies. So again, for any ladies, for any daughters, yes, iodine,
Yeah.
look into iodine.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kim. And if somebody has dense breast tissue, like fibroids, all those kind of things, the first thing that pops in my head is iodine.
Okay, well, you just described everything about me, so I think I'll take some of that.
Okay. Yeah. And I would definitely start with a metabolic activator, but that might be, I don't know if if you've listened to my podcast with Dr. Brownstein or looked into him at all, but you might go back and listen to that. I mean, he is not afraid to put the pedal to the metal when it comes to iodine. And so it might be even something you could move into a, higher dosing, even, there's always that controversy when somebody has Hashimoto's and such, but he's not afraid to do it. And so you might look into that. This would be good kind of foundation with the metabolic activator, kind of laying that groundwork, introducing it so your body gets used to it and starts absorbing it. But yeah. So this is an option, Optimize A. And then Optimize B is more gut, kind of geared toward gut. If you feel like you just want to keep supporting gut, this has got their probiotic. It also has their enzymes, CT-zyme, which is a good one too. I've seen some people use this for almost in a proteolytic enzyme manner where you take it on empty stomach, but I've taken it when I take it on empty stomach and I take too many, it gives me like heartburny. So I'd probably use dissolve it all if I was doing proteolytic enzymes. I would not use this for that, but for um for like a basic enzyme, it's a good one. Okay, hang on. I don't have my chat screen up. Let me put that up. Let me add another box to my thing here. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Y'all are talking. Okay. So there's that. Then we have um the maintenance kit. And I don't know if anybody had a chance to listen to my podcast with Jimmy Scaringi. He's awesome. He was saying he's the CellCore muscle tester guy, and he works with a lot of autistic kids and such. But anyway, he was saying this is his like I would not be without this trio. It might be a different binder. He kind of switches in and out of binders depending on, just what he's feeling. But CT minerals, BCATP, and again, I think the Virad Chem is a nice maintenance binder because it's 1/3 biotoxin binder, 1/3 HMET, and then 1/3 kind of its own thing. So I
Hey,
like,
Chelsea.
yes.
Um, so my family's going to love me at Christmas because I'm going to give them crunchy gifts. And my daughter actually asked for crunchy gifts, and I was like, "Yay! I'm doing something right." But I want to give a binder to my son. Like he works at a landfill. I mean, he's a supervisor, so he's not always in it. But and I was wanting to do the Virad Chem binder, but then it said if you're not doing a binder, you should start with biotoxin. But could I go straight to that for him?
I think you could.
And
I
then
would,
this whole maintenance kit looks really good. I mean, I know it says maintenance kit, but is it something people could do if they haven't gone through the protocol?
oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, I think those three things look pretty good for just general health.
yeah. If you look at it, it's basically the same thing as step one of the protocol minus the KL support.
Okay. So Is any of this, like, is there a warning or anything about people who are nursing or pregnant or anything like that for these?
If you look, um, if you look right here under the cell
Oh,
core,
okay.
yeah, all
Oh,
the kind of what is right there.
okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure, sure. Yes, yes. Okay. Kim, you were asking about fungus. Yeah, I think para 4 is also a good one for that as well. Okay, so those would be my recommendations. And if you had to just choose one thing, if you wanted, I think keeping a binder on hand is a good thing, even if you don't take it every day. Um, Even if you're just taking it on those days, like in the holiday season, like you're not eating great or you're traveling or whatever, if you're trying to be kind of economical about it, I think having a binder on hand at a minimum is a really great thing to do. And cell core binders are binders that you can take ongoingly, which is a different story from other binders, which, it's one reason they're my fave. Okay, the other thing, and they call this the Parakit now. They have well, if you wanted to do any kind of, full moon cleanses as little maintenance cleanses here and there, you'll have Para 3 left over, so you probably don't need to reorder the whole kit. But you could, or if you end up with anything left over, or if you wanted to add either of these other ones and do a full moon cleanse, then you could. And this is, you could print this. This is how you would do it. It has like if you wanted to do it, hang on a minute. If somebody is kind of a beginner or intermediate or advanced, and this is why I say, we can, and this is also kind of a good guide too, if you were looking to kick things up a notch, because you can see um, that you can. What kind of frustrates me about CellCore is that those will be like, oh yeah, I'll do a full moon cleanse without having one, two, and three. That could just jack you up. That could feel really terrible, right? So I love if we've laid a foundation of doing the foundational protocol, and then if you want to come back around and do some full moon cleanses, I think that's fine. But just be aware now that you've been through it, you kind of know how your body does with a para 1 or a para 2 or para 3. And you have your, like Carrie was saying, like para 2 was not jiving with her, right? So she took a low dose. So you have some sense around how your body responds to these things. So
Okay, being that we would go through it, we could almost, if we didn't have any issues, we could start with either intermediate or advanced.
yeah, 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 you could. Yes, ma'am. If you are brave. If you're brave enough. Okay, I think, yeah. So those are the things I would recommend for that.
I do have a question on, because I was trying to look it up because I can't remember how my daughter was saying it is, but she has the PCOS, which is the polycystic ovarian syndrome. Would that the activator be something that would be like if, because she's not part of this, but she's really struggling. Would that be something that she could take that would be really
Yeah,
good for her?
I think that would be supportive. hmm
Okay.
It again, I feel really confident about the metabolic activator because it is so low, it's such a low dose. It's got your selenium, your molybdenum, those kind of supportive cofactors that we want around iodine. Plus, it has the fulvic acid, which is what makes it so bioavailable. It's really just the secret sauce of all of CellCore products is that almost all of them have it in there, have the humic fulvic, in there, which just makes your body be able to utilize it so much more efficiently. But
Okay. And
anyway,
Yeah. And he mentioned, I think in the video for the pair of four, that people who have a problem getting pregnant, he would suggest the pair of four. Isn't that what he said in that? I
I
think
think it's the HMET, maybe the
HT. Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
It's the HMET that they have found can be really helpful, and specifically because that one pulls glyphosate.
Okay. All right, right. But she probably should do the other binders first before
I
she.
would at least start with Virad Chem
Oh,
before going right to HMET if she was going to do that. Yeah.
all right. Gotcha.
We're on our last week of phase four.
Yeah. Oh,
And so this last week we're upping our pair of fours to four twice a day and HMET to four twice a day. So
woo.
Oh,
yeah, it's been going well. We also have carboxy, and I
Okay.
wanted to do that this next month. How would you recommend doing that? I know you're supposed to really start low, and I thought I would probably take Lymphactive with it. Would that be enough drainage support?
Yeah, that would be a good combination. Yeah, just start really slow on that and you can build we were just having this discussion about carboxy. Carboxy is like biotoxin binder on steroids. And so the good news is that you've gone through all the binders, your body's prepared for it, but I would just kind of start, just maybe start with a half dose. I can't even remember honestly what is the dose recommended on the bottle. Do you remember? Do you have it offhand?
I have it upstairs. I can run and get it.
Well, you don't have to do that. I could look it up. But I would just start with, I would just go slow with it. Do like a half dose and then kind of work your way up to a regular dose.
Do you think it would take about a week to get up to a full dose?
I think I would do it for like 3 days and see how you feel.
Okay. My husband and I joke about if we're laying on the floor, that either means it's working or we're dying.
Yeah, okay, go. You can go either way.
And then let's see, we're leaving on the 17th to go to the TPUSA conference, and I was thinking I would take the Virad Chem with for that week.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Yeah, you're covering your bases there. I think that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a great one.
And is carboxy good for candida too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm,
Thank you. What
Yep.
about mold? I think
It's
that's the one I actually wanted to ask about.
it's great for mold. It's in a lot of mold protocols, used for a lot of mold protocols. Yeah, it's really, really good for mold.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I want to hear how your experiment goes.
would you need to do any of the other protocols before you do the carboxy as far as mold, if it's really good with mold?
I mean, just using carboxy is not going to fix your mold problem. It's, CellCore does have a mold kit. Um, I I haven't worked with people like just on mold, and there's other people that have that specialty better than I do. Like if it's just a general exposure, just trying to do some cleanup. If somebody is living in active mold and really dealing with problems, you probably want to absolutely want to do a more thorough um, protocol for that.
Mhm.
But it can be, yeah, I remember I had a client years and years ago, and we worked together for I don't know, I can't remember now, 6 months maybe. And like one of her biggest things she wanted to do was lose weight, and she was having such trouble. And we had done a lot of things. And then at one of our meetings, she was talking about how she lives in mold. And I was like, oh my word. Like I was like, I wish she'd have told me that a long time ago because her body was just right holding on to all those toxins and um so and it just inflamed toxic overload and so it was a problem. But one thing I did want to share with y'all today is just to remind you that uh we don't want to be thinking that we have to do constant parasite cleanses and things like that. The point of this, let me stop share so I can see your faces. I can barely see you. Hang on. Um, Part of what we're doing here is, I say like we kind of like clear the decks, right? Want to clear the decks, pull out the toxins, support the gut, so support ourselves systemically. But what we really want to get back to is just really resilient cellular health because your body should be able to handle, these exposures to things, to repel things, to detox things, to remove things. Now, if you have an overload, if you're living in mold, that's something different. That's um if you have a lot of mold exposure, but some people do, have mold around them and they're not affected by it. It's just kind of that level of that terrain resiliency. So that's really what our goal here is to really support the terrain from head to toe, which means just supporting cellular health, supporting the way your body makes energy in each cell, because we can't do anything if the body's not making enough energy, which is, one of the reasons in that maintenance kit, the BCATP, they also have Mito Active now. Those are both mitochondrial supports. And so anytime something's really not working in the body, a lot of that points to mitochondrial dysfunction because your body just cannot make the energy, it just doesn't have the resiliency to deal with these insults coming at it. So just know that and be thinking, in your brain, I'm just always wanting to be thinking of my cells just being really healthy and producing energy and the train chugging along and everything's working fine and it's able to move things out of the cell that are not serving it. And so just kind of thinking of your body in that way, and what we're doing here. So I just know that since you're kind of at the tail end of that's, the major part of our goal. And I don't want you to be thinking, oh, I've got to, move right into a full moon cleanse. I love doing that as just a little maintenance thing here and there, but you don't have to do it all the time. Some people are like, should I do one every month? I'm like, I mean, you can, but also we shouldn't have to overkill all the time. Now, we are constantly exposed to so many toxins nowadays, chemicals, just so many things. That's why I do think a binder is just proactive, preventative, helpful. I do think that's really useful. Um, so
I have a couple questions. Oh, here, let me turn my video on. It is my video. Hi.
hi.
So I've been trying to follow the rules on doing this protocol and not take anything else. I'm quite discouraged that I cannot tell any difference after 3 months of
Yeah.
lots of supplements and not taking other things. And anyhow, I got labs just because it was my annual appointment. Somebody else in the chatter said that you recommend not getting labs.
Yes, I thought I answered that. I swear. Or maybe, Kim, did I tell you that in person? Because I saw that question. I'm like,
No,
did I not answer it in the
I posted it in two places, both in CellCore and
in,
the CHC, and you answered it in CHC. And
oh,
I'm sorry, I meant, like I told myself, I need to copy Chelsea's response and post it here, and we can see that I never did that.
oh no, that's not your responsibility. That is mine. And I am sorry. I could have sworn I answered that. So sorry, Bree. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yes, I do recommend not getting labs if you can help it because they can be skewed.
Well, I guess I'm wondering what the skewing is because my labs were bad in the same things that have been bad. So it may not have anything to do with it, but my Hashimoto's, whatever peroxidase things are sky high. My cholesterol's sky high. My iron and ferritin are low, but I already had all of those things. So I don't know that that has anything to do with the protocol, but like before the protocol, I got from Perfect Supplements some of the liver capsules and some of the organ capsules to take to help with the iron, but I haven't been taking them since you're not supposed to take other stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to be. I'm just frustrated because I feel like the super expensive, super long protocol is not doing anything, and I'm
Yeah.
not doing other things that maybe I should be doing. So
Yeah.
I'm just a little discouraged.
You can take other things. It's not like you absolutely cannot. We just try, the doctors are like, take out what you really, really don't need. If there's something you feel like you do need or is very helpful, So feel bring that back in if you want to. Absolutely. As far as the labs go, yeah, just because we're stirring so much stuff up in the body, like bacterial poop and toxins are moving, and it just can create inflammation. And so some of those inflammatory markers can be high. Cholesterol is not unusual to be higher because, and when there's inflammation, cholesterol is one of those kind of rescuing agents that can come in and be a little bit higher. So there is there is that. Um, have you? We no, you probably haven't gotten there yet. With the iron, also iron dysregulation can be a cause of higher cholesterol and inflammation, right? So with the iron, you might in the future get a more extensive panel. Have you done like ceruloplasmin and all those kind of cofactors with iron to see your
I
copper?
don't think I know what most of those things are
Okay.
at this point.
Okay.
Let me see what my iron is. Where's the iron? Iron plus iron total iron binder capacity, TIBC serum is
Yeah. Those are kind of your basic wins. And when those, if somebody's still having iron issues after trying some different things, that's when I would recommend a more extended iron panel. Um,
it's really just my iron saturation is low and my ferritin is low. But the doctor, if anything is off, they go, "You're anemic." And so they always tell me I'm anemic. And I'm like, I don't know. And I know that their rules are different, or their ranges are different, and their interpretations are different. And we're learning all of that in
right.
DHC, but we're not fully there. So
Yeah, we're not fully there yet, and we will talk more about that. But yeah, usually it's an iron dysregulation problem, not straight up anemia. It's just the way the body is not using iron efficiently. So anyway, uh, but yeah, no, I hear your frustration. And, like I said from the outset, some people notice really obvious things. Some people are like, I didn't notice one thing at all. Whether you notice anything or not, do know it's not like these are going in and doing absolutely nothing. Um, just be assured in that something is happening now. Maybe it's not targeting, maybe it's, we're targeting some deep stuff. Maybe it's not reaching out into exactly the places that you need yet. How are your hands, by the way?
they're better. I'm now starting to lean towards, I think there's a connection to my cycle, because I think I realized they keep
Hmm.
flaring up right before our calls, or like right around our calls, which are about monthly. And so I
Uh-huh.
was like, wait, that's cyclical. And so I'm now wondering if it has to do with my cycle. So I'm not sure what to do with that theory, but so I'm basically expecting them to freak out on me pretty soon. But they're tame, tamish now. So yeah, I don't know. Like literally everything that has been like just nothing is changing. I make all these changes and nothing is changing. My labs aren't changing. I'm just spending lots of money and nothing's changing.
Oh
So
man, that's
it's
frustrating.
frustrating. And like the follow-up kits, I'm like, okay, well, I get the logic behind it all, but I'm like, my gosh, like Optimize A is $335. And I'm like, other than just believing that it works because of everything I've heard, I don't know. Like, I feel like at some point I should be able to really physically tell a difference
Yeah.
for this, not just financial investment, but like time and lifestyle and,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
And
It
yeah.
absolutely is a lot. I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. And then maybe just stick with a binder for now. And as I'm glad you're in the school because we'll be uncovering more of of that as we go along. Although I will say probably a book, especially that would be helpful. Would be Morley Robbins' book. We took it off the required reading list and put it in the recommended, but that is a really good one around especially iron
Which
regulation.
one was
Kind of
that?
What's that?
a
Which book?
question.
It's Morley Robbins' book, which it's the Cure Your Fatigue.
Okay.
And it was on the required, and we just moved it to recommended. Um, but it might be a good one to read.
Uh, Bree, just a random question. In the school, we were taught the pyramid on your hormone pyramid, and like how is your stress level, like the basis, your cortisol level.
Oh, I'm not super high
Because
strung individual.
What did you say, Bree?
I'm super high strung. I don't know how to relax.
yeah,
Meditation sounds stressful to me. Just trying to be still, and I'm just like that sounds like it's gonna stress me out more and calm me down, trying to chill. So
I like that point, Amanda. We haven't got to the hormone hierarchy yet in that cohort, but that's a great point. It's a really good point when we're talking about, specifically hormones, but, and we teach about the hormone hierarchy, which is like a triangle. And the base of the hormones are your oxytocin, your insulin, and your cortisol. And everything above that, so our reproductive hormones, our melatonin, our all the other hormones, DHEA, all these other things are going to be really dependent on how the base is doing. Cortisol, stress, oxytocin, insulin. And so if any of those are skewed, it really has a trickle effect on all of the other things. Um, but I think that's a really interesting connection that you made, Brie, with your cycle. I'm really fascinated by that. I want to think on that one more. I mean, it's a good first step. If you can, make that connection, then we can move from there as far as that piece of it.
yeah.
It would be possibly
I'm
helpful.
hoping that this step 4, I really maybe finally can tell because I have been, I was exposed to mold prior to starting the protocol. That's why we're all doing it. That's now out of my house.
Good.
So maybe step 4, I'll really be able to tell. That'd be nice.
You'll poop out a huge worm. I'm just kidding.
Bree,
Yes.
again, I know, all of us just coming out of left field here, but I empathize with the stress and the anxiety and just constant feeling like a ball of chaos, so to speak, or um, everybody's different. I tried meditation, I tried breathing, I tried like calming my nervous system. They have so many different YouTubers out there and things you can pay for. And for me, it just didn't work. What worked for me was acupuncture. Um, my body just really responded to it. And it took a bit, meaning, I mean, I went hardcore with it. I went twice a week and finally after 4 months, like the hamster wheel started to slow. I started to not feel panicked or tripping over my words or just like going in fast forward that my words couldn't keep up with my brain. And then I switched to once a week. Um, and I'm doing so much better, like calm. I can talk to my 8-year-old calmly without flipping out if he just does something that I should know an 8-year-old is going to do. But so again, I know that's more money and more things to try. But for me, acupuncture really allowed these other things to work for me because I was just so stressed. So it really made a huge difference with allowing the other things that I was doing to take hold and work within me.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I did acupuncture many years ago and I actually liked it. I was doing it for headaches a long time ago but I haven't done it in years and maybe that would be good because I feel like everybody just says to calm down and meditate and I'm like that's making me anxious. Please stop saying that.
And if you find a good practitioner, the one thing I love about acupuncture is they can work on multiple things at the same time. They can work on calming your nervous system. They can work on menstrual. They can work on, again, all sorts of different systems, lymphatic and things like that in at the same session. So as long as they're supportive and synergistic to one another. So if you find a good practitioner in your area, you can come at this from a work on multiple different causes and things.
How did you go about finding a practitioner?
I ended up actually the practice that I go to for my bioidentical hormone therapy. They're a wellness practice, and they had an acupuncturist in there. But I had done it before years ago with a different one. I the what I like about this individual, and again, I prayed on it. I mean, my health is the one thing that I have not surrendered to God, and He is showing me how to surrender to Him. So I'm finally listening, and He led me to her. And within the first session, she could see me, and she's like, "Can I pray for you?" Like I was just like, "Oh, thank you, God." But I think it just looking in your area, looking at reviews, and if you have trusted practitioners, or like if you have a trusted, I don't know if you already see a functional practitioner or a compound pharmacist or somebody like that is asking that network, hey, if I, do you have somebody you recommend for acupuncture? Like if you have a network of folks there. Where are you at?
New Braunfels, Texas.
Okay, not Florida. So really far away from me. um, but yeah, and if you're at all comfortable using like Grok or ChatGPT, you got to, you can start to just say, hey, give me a list of local acupuncturists, and I want top quality experience and customer reviews. Like and let it tell you and give you a list, and you can just start weeding down from there. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. And it made me think we were just having this discussion in the club because we're going through Jamie Winship's study and these questions. What do you want me to know? The questions to ask God. What do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? And we were talking about why don't we ask that more when it comes to our health? Like, God, what do you want me to know about where I am right now? What's going, specifically about my health? What do you want me to do? Um, and getting a little direction from the Holy Spirit, always a good idea when it comes to that. It might open up an idea or a direction, like you said, Kim, leading you to acupuncture. So making that part of your protocol as well, I think is always a really good idea.
Bree, do you do the red light therapy at all?
I do. Um, Again, it's one of the many things I've incorporated into my life that I just can't really tell it's doing anything. I don't even want to talk today because I'm super discouraged. But like, I mean, I'm doing the grounding and the red light therapy and trying to get light at the right times of day and looking at my water and doing the foundational protocol and fresh milled flour. I mean, I'm just, I feel like I'm trying to do all the things. I mean, I'm better than I was before I started anything for sure, but it doesn't seem like anything has changed in a while. And I think I just listened to things about this protocol for so long, and then we had mold exposure, and I was like, well, yeah, okay, let me go through this. And so I just expected something out of it, and I haven't seen anything. And I'm also taking my husband through it and my mother through it. Nothing, none of us know anything other than that we just take a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I understand as best as my mind currently can the science behind it all, and that it probably is doing stuff and we just can't tell. I'm just discouraged because I just got my labs, and I was hoping that I didn't see some of these things again. It'd be nice to not have the eczema constantly break out and stuff. So yeah.
Don't give up yet. Don't give up yet. We're not done yet. And I think you brought up a really, well, Amanda, I think you brought up a good point with, the cortisol and same Kim. When when I hear somebody saying I have tried everything, 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 nothing's working, and then and some would argue like we need to do nervous system regulation first before, because if the nervous system is dysregulated, if you're always in fight or flight, a body can't heal in fight or flight. Constant, constant, constant fight or flight. Now, but there's chicken and the egg, right? Somebody that's got some mold in them, right? Or a gut infection or whatever it is, that is putting your body under stress. And that is a threat. And so it's really hard to nail down different kind of, is this a physical threat? Is this a emotional, situational threat? Is my schedule like insane? Do I have teenagers? Am I going through perimenopause? Do I just have like a family tragedy, right? Like all of these things that can really turn us upside down. Um, but that is kind of, that's one of the things I think about is if something is everything else, the physical things you're really, really working on, if we're missing that kind of nervous system, kind of working on bringing the peace in so the body feels safe to heal and do what it needs to do, that might be the direction, you think about next, whether that is like investing in acupuncture or trying to, if meditating or whatever doesn't resonate with you, trying something different. Um, there's a lot of ways you can support the nervous system, and some of them are expensive and some of them are for free. I'm glad you're doing all the things like getting in the sun, getting outside, all those kinds of things. But just that's the kind of direction. Yeah.
If I can tag on to that a little bit more, some more, Chelsea.
Please.
Um, yeah, I think for me, when I was trying to optimize my health and I had so many things going on and I just didn't know what root causes were, I was just trying to control so much. And in the end, it was just too much trying to, everybody's got great ideas. There's so many good practitioners out there, and there are good products out there, but you can't do it all at the same time, especially. And I mean, Chelsea knows there was a time where I was just so overwhelmed, even from the good stuff. Like I had to take a break from calling in weekly to the CHC, even though most of it was good stuff and it was good information, I had to cut back. I stopped listening to educational podcasts. There's a podcaster I listen to, Rachel Grohl, who is Hearing Jesus. So I just kept with specific podcasts that were not about information sharing or learning or anything. I literally had to cut back for months. And if you're doing, it sounded like CHP.
Mhm. Yes.
Oh. So I would just recommend really writing down, post it, whatever you want to do, everything that you're currently doing, and then seeing how you can pare it down. It could be that the fresh milled flour has to go on the back burner. It could be, especially if you're doing CHP right now, that's a lot of work. You're going to get a lot of information coming your way, and you're going to want to do it all. um, so I think it's all about margin. And when you think you have enough margin, then give yourself more. Until I started doing that for myself, I just was a basket case and a constant wreck because I was trying to be all, do all, know all, and it's just not our place. I mean, that's where God comes in and the God reliance. So my heart goes out to you, Bree, because I just feel like so many of us try to do that. And because of this information load, there is no shortage of potential cures or potential programs or this or that. But it leads us down a road of chaos and frustration and stress. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's hard this side of heaven.
Yes.
Oh, it's frozen. Or Chelsea's frozen.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I think I'm in prison. Um, yeah. Well, Bree, we gave you a lot of unsolicited advice today.
No, it's good. It's good.
But I wish I could jump in the Zoom square and give you a hug. And I'm sorry you're discouraged, and I totally understand that. You're right. This is a huge investment, and that's what I tell people, of time, of energy, of money. It is a big investment. Um, And so I get it. And that's what some people are like, I want to see like worms coming out to feel like I, got my money's worth or see a change or whatever it is. But again, I'll just, reinforce it is doing something inside. It's not like they're just like going through you and it's nothing's happening. Something is happening. And I think just, getting I always, no matter what happens, if I do something, I'm like, I'm just here. I'm coming what I came for. I'm gonna do it all in, and it's just a piece of my journey, right? So it's just a piece of the journey, the unwinding of it. It's never a bad idea to remove toxins from your body. It's never a bad idea to help regulate bacterial balances. So just know we're just covering some of those foundations. Just for some people, it might take a little bit more, might take a little more time, might need to get through the whole thing. Maybe it hits you like a ton of bricks a little bit later on. We just don't know. But it's okay to feel discouraged and um, that's just part of it too. But I just wish I could give you a hug.
It's all good. Thank you. Actually, I've been wanting to join the club for forever. And the reason that I haven't done it yet is because I would be trying to do
So
whatever
many.
the club is doing as well. And so I'm like, I can't sign up because they're doing a book and I can't do that book because I am reading
Can't
all
do
of
one
the
more book.
recommended reading as well as the required reading for the CHP. So I have to chill.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. I do. I was just telling him in the club, like we have quite a few little activities, and I was like, listen, do all of it, do nothing. Like whatever I know, especially this time of year, is like nobody has any bandwidth. So we just try to, you just can do what you can do. But you're in CHP, so you really have to do you really have to keep up with it for sure. So no, I totally get that. It's fire hose season for you.
It's all good. I'm enjoying it. I actually think that it's calming to read those books.
Oh,
It's
good.
not calming when I think about implementing the books, but just reading them is good.
Yeah, good. Good. Don't jump into implementing anything too quickly because you feel like you have to implement everything at once, and that is really stressful. So just take in the information, and then it gives you all the context to build out what you really need to do. So, okay. Well, my friends, anything else before we wrap up for today? We will meet again in January. Um, Let me look at the calendar here. It's probably already on the calendar, but I want to make sure. Oh my gosh, why can't I ever find anything? Yeah, January the 6th.
I
Is
do have one question if we have time.
Sure, that's fine.
We talked about lots of things related to follow up for the foundational protocol, but I have been hearing on your podcast and other places the hydroxygen release and how that's super exciting.
Mm.
And I was just wondering if, like, I don't know if that somehow pairs well with the continued maintenance after the foundational protocol or something.
Yeah, it absolutely can. And it's the best thing that it's going to do is add charge. Just it's really about the energy going back to the body being able to mount up enough energy. It is good on many fronts. It's another one I keep on hand for like topical use and and yeah, and internal use. Like I literally hoarded my bottles all this time because it's been gone for like 3 years, and it's been removed from all the protocols. It used to be part of the protocols, um, and I'm wondering if they'll kind of weave it back in. But you can use it alongside any step, any part if you want to. And it's really powerful. So that would be something to you could absolutely add in. Yes, yes. Okay. So when we meet in January, we'll kind of be wrapping you guys up, and then we'll have some new people starting step one for the new year. So that'll be fun. But if you need anything in the meantime, post in the group. I'm so sorry I missed that labs one. I thought I had answered it, and I did in the CHC, but I'll be a little bit more on top of that next time. But yes, let us know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear any reports if anybody ups anything. Jamie jumped off, but I would love to hear if she does that. Kim, if you up your para and see if that helps, you know.
I do have a question though. It's like you said not to do the labs. How soon after we're done with all of this protocol should we be able to do labs?
I mean, I say give it like 4 to 6 weeks at least, honestly. I mean, now you can't, it's not like you can't do labs. You can. Just know that there could be some things that are skewed on there because we just, you're still kind of coming off the other side and just like letting everybody kind of everything kind of balance back out, kind of normalize back out. Just like to give the body a little bit of time after. But it's the kind of the same if somebody's sick, like if you just had COVID and then somebody gets labs, they could be skewed. I had somebody that happened one time. She brought me her labs and her cholesterol was like really, really high and it was really unusual for her. And she was really concerned about it. And then we're talking through stuff and it was like she had been sick, not like right around the time she took the labs. And that really threw things off. So just kind of know that in general for future reference if you get COVID or you get the flu and then a week later you're doing your labs, well, things could be off, especially those inflammatory markers.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, y'all. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next month, unless I see you sooner in one of my other places. All right, y'all. Happy holidays.